Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yes. Oh god, there's a delay on here. Oh god, it's like half a second of a delay. 1 second, let me see if I can fix this. It's like half a second of delay. Let's try the age-old trick of turning your camera on and off. I mean, that's the scientific method. We'll try that. Okay, there we go. There we go. Am I still delayed? No, this is a lot better. There you go. Yeah, my apologies for that technical issue there at the start of the stream. I'm not sure what that was. Hello, big up to Wim, big up to Luca and Da Silt as well. Tomorrow is the medical for the Ludovic race. Club Brugge, well, soon to be Club Brugge player. Hit the likes. Yes, sir. Hit the likes and subscribe. Because if you hit the likes and you subscribe, which by the way is free, many people don't notice, I will stop having technical problems. The reason I have technical issues every fucking stream at this point is because you guys aren't subscribing. Get me to 1K, we're so close. It's always when you get close to a goal that it slows down. Where is the Gundogan transfer news? Oh, here it is. There you go. Yeah, I've got a bunch of things open. So Ilkay Gundogan, I mean, I expected this, but let's read it anyways. Ilkay Gundogan and Galatasaray have reached a contractual agreement. So in other words, they've agreed the terms for if Gundogan should go to Galatasaray, which I think will happen. There's no reason for him not to go. If he wants to become a coach, which I understand that he does, but that's based off of conjecture of other people. I'm not sure how factual those statements are. But if he wants to be a coach, he needs to retire. So we're not going to keep him a year at Man City to play no football, pay him ridiculous wages, and then say, okay, now you can become a coach. No, it doesn't work like that. If he wants to become a coach, he has to retire and come back to Man City. So if he doesn't want to retire now, that means he needs to go to Galatasaray, play out his career, then retire. I don't think he'll go to Galatasaray for that long, to be honest. I think he's just trying to pocket some last bit of cash. Because Galatasaray, they pay a lot of money. You look at the money or at the wages that Osimhen is being paid at Galatasaray. These are very close to Gundogan's wages at Man City. So how long is he going to be at Galatasaray? I mean, obviously, I don't know, but I can't imagine it will be for longer than 2 years. And he may just be doing the club a favor by leaving, because him coming back on those wages is difficult for the club to now go get someone else, replace him, when you still have him on your wage book. So maybe he said, yeah, you guys did me a favor by bringing me back to Manchester after my stint in Barcelona. I'm going to do you guys a favor now and take a wage cut to go to Galatasaray. Maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know. That's all conjecture. The only thing I do know is that he was looking for a house. When was it? It was before the transfer window even opened in June the 1st. But it was like before June the 1st, he was looking for a house in Istanbul. Galatasaray is Istanbul, of course, for those who don't know. A lot of people, actually, this shows how good people are at geography. A lot of people think that Galatasaray is a city. I was surprised because I was talking about Istanbul and people were like, no, he's going to Galatasaray. And I'm like, yes, that's Istanbul. So for those who don't know, Galatasaray is in Istanbul. It is not a city. Just a disclaimer there. He was looking for houses in Istanbul. I don't see a reason why this won't happen. We've been talking about it for a while. We've seen a bunch of news from Galatasaray's camp that they're confident they'll get Gundogan. And for us, it's just get him off the wage book, isn't it? And I don't think this stops him, by the way, from becoming a coach at Man City. Because a lot of people want to keep him to become a coach, to fast track him into a coaching role. But I mean, Arsenal did the same thing with, I believe, what's it, Xhaka. And obviously, Xhaka went to Leverkusen. He didn't take any coaching roles. He just was like, yeah, fuck this, I'm gone. When these players, if they want to become a coach, they'll come back and become a coach. Take Fernandinho. Different situation. He retired at Man City, but take Fernandinho. He left Man City, went to do his own thing, then came back because he's going to be a coach next season, Fernandinho. Then it's coming back next season. If these players want to become coaches, they will come back to us. There's no reason why they have to retire at our club. Because even if they retire at Man City, they still have to get all their badges and stuff to become a coach. So are you going to make them do that while they're your player? I mean, now you're just wasting money on them. Because then they're focusing more on being a coach than being a player. Why even be a player at that point, right? So this in no way stops Gundogan from becoming a coach at Man City, if that is what he wants to do, in my opinion. Today, there's all the watch-along. Yes, we're doing a watch-along to the German under-21s later today. Gent won a friendly. They didn't really win a game. Big up to Bane like Bane. I'm afraid to inquire, but big up to you. Thank you for subscribing. I'm afraid to inquire about that one. He's not going to... But what? No. Bayern München will not be in... Bayern München wanted to buy Kyle Walker actually a while ago. Funny story. Yeah, yes, but yeah, that is simply not happening. So Gundogan, I'm happy for him. He's going to get some good wages. And what is the weather like in Istanbul? Istanbul climate. What's the climate there? Graphs. I like these graphs. I mean, it's decent. It's like a participation graph. But like this is only showing daylight and hours. What about participation? How do you even spell that word? Perception. Graph. No. How often does it rain in Istanbul? There you go. About 131 days. Okay. 131 days. What about Manchester? I'm guessing like 200 something days. Oh. Well, that's actually pretty similar. Really? Yeah, I guess Istanbul has a similar climate to Manchester. He'll be used to it. I've never been to Istanbul, so I don't really know what it's like there. But he'll be used to the weather. I thought he was going to some place with a fancy weather, but apparently not. I mean, I guess he can go deeper into Turkey, I guess, to get that weather. Anyhow, moving on from Gundogan is not really a Gundogan replacement. I think this guy is more of a Bernardo Silva replacement. Morgan Gibbs White. We are still talking about Morgan Gibbs White. There's a lot of people who really want him. And there's a lot of people, but like this is the thing with Gibbs White. It's either he has the best thing since sliced bread, or he is a demonic creature from hell. There is no middle ground. People either hate him or they love him. Now, I actually take what I believe is a healthy stance, a healthy middle ground, and I say, I don't mind. We need homegrown players. We've gone through this on previous streams, a lot of previous streams, so I don't mind. If we get him. He's a homegrown player. He's got an engine on him. He will provide you work rate, and he can play on the wings. A lot of people think he's just a midfielder, but he's more than that. If you go to Gibbs White's transfer market, you'll see that he plays a lot of different positions. If I can see all statistics. There you go. How many games has he played? Like, look at this. He plays all over the midfield. 24 games as a winger. Most of his career is in midfield, of course, but he can play on the wing. He's got a few games on the wing. And what are his statistics like on the wing? I mean, 7 goals and 4 assists as a right winger. in 24 games, that's not bad. I mean, that's even better than what Doku and Savio provide statistically. He's got like 11 GA in 24 games. I believe Savio played 30 games and has the same amount of GA. Of course, a lot less goals. Vermont has signed an extension. Another flop. Do you think Gibbs White is a flop, though? Because what is a flop? I'm Jordan Peterson now. What is a flop? Because when we talk about a flop player, we talk about a player that isn't worth the money we spent on him. That is what, in my opinion, is a flop. Jack Grealish is a flop. Not because he was bad, but because he was not good enough for the amount of money we paid. And now he's just washed. 30 years old, already washed, yikes. But that is what for me is a flop. Someone who doesn't warrant the amount of money you spent on him. If we buy Gibbs White, we could be buying him for 60, maybe 70 million. We get 5 good years out of him. And he's not going to be a Jack Grealish case. Because I think he's going to be what Bernardo Silva used to be for us if that's the role we play him in. Just a squad player, comes in the team, starts 1 game in 5, comes off the bench in the other 4, plays in the and just brings an engine, can run. Won't always bring the GA. I mean, in fact, he brings more GA than what Bernardo Silva does. But that's because he's in a more free role. If you look at Nottingham Forest, he is the main guy at Forest, with, of course, Cresswood, but Cresswood is the one he feeds. So he's the main creator there. Meanwhile, if he comes to Man City, I mean, Sherky is going to have seniority, or not seniority, but priority. Foden is going to have priority. Reinders, probably, is going to have priority. Savio, if he plays creatively, is probably a bit better than, arguably maybe better than this guy. So he's not going to play the same role he does at Man City as he does at Nottingham Forest. So that's the problem we had with Jack Grealish. When Jack Grealish came to Man City, he took a completely different role, which he just wasn't ready to play that role. Let's be honest. At Villa, I mean, a lot of people say he played on the wings on Villa, but it's not the same because a position, you don't just play a position, you play a role. Sometimes, I think for people who are beginning to get into football tactics, you should forget about positions and learn about roles. Because positions can be complicated. Roles can be simplified very easily. Jack Grealish's role was a central creator who goes wide. So, or maybe a wide creator who goes central. That's a very different role from a touchline winger. Stay wide, don't go into the middle too much. It's a completely different role. So when we talk about players, we need to think about roles sometimes. Jack Grealish, his abilities weren't suited for the role we got him in for. I believe that there is a role that Gibbs White could play for us. He would not be a starting player. He would be a bench player, a squad player. But there's nothing wrong with that. Bernardo Silva, for that time, was just that. Ilkay Gundogan. Remember when we got Ilkay Gundogan? He wasn't starting. He was coming off the bench. And every time he came off the bench, the fan base got on his ass. When he was starting in the injury season 1920, where everyone was injured, that's when people were on his ass. People were complaining about him. So he doesn't necessarily have to be a starter. You don't need to buy these guys to be a starter. You can bring them in and play with them for off the bench. And again, if you're playing against, let's say you are playing against Crystal Palace. Let's say Crystal Palace. You want to win that ball back because Crystal Palace, what they're going to do is they'll play in a deep block, and when they have the ball, they'll try to go up the pitch with the ball, and they'll try to hold on to it. And if they can't, they will counter you. If they can't, they'll hold on to the ball. When you have a team that holds on to the ball, you want to press them. Now, who is pressing at Man City? Cherky. We saw that he's willing to press in the game against Wydad. So, okay, Cherky. Who else? Who else? That's literally it. One player. You need a player to come in and do that pressing. Erling Haaland doesn't do a lot of pressing. Okay, he does it for Norway, but for one reason or another, he doesn't for Man City. Whether that's a tactical reason or whatever, he doesn't do it for Man City. So you need to bring in some players who can press a lot and can just run against teams like Crystal Palace, who, when they can't counter you, will try to hold on to the ball to stop fatiguing themselves. Because defending, it's very difficult mentally. When you defend, I feel like a lot of people don't have never played football, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand this. When you defend, it's mentally tiring. Physically, I mean, it's physically tiring as well, but maybe not as much as attacking is. But mentally, it's just draining. You need to focus on every pass, on closing every line, on where every attacker is running. So that can be mentally tiring. Having someone who can press against a team that will try to hold on to the ball to avoid such exhaustion, that's useful. So is that a flop? Not if we use him correctly. Same with Jack Grealish, in my opinion. If we use him correctly, I don't think he would have been a flop. But what is using Jack Grealish correctly? I guess it would be playing him in midfield, but I don't think he was good enough for that. So I think Jack Grealish, we should have never gotten. More than Gibbs White, it's not someone I want. Like, again, let me reiterate that. I don't want Gibbs White, but I don't mind if we get him. I understand the logic behind Gibbs White. I'm just not terribly interested in him myself personally. Ajax and Almere City have agreed on Julian Glacov on loan. Do you like schedule start of season? I've already answered this question. Yes. Kenny Tete to Everton. Oh, that's interesting, actually. From Fulham, I believe. Everton is buying a lot of players right now. Let's talk about Everton, because they are interested in Jack Grealish, the flop we were talking about previously. They're interested in, what's his name, John Stones. Everton is interested in a lot of players. They're getting signings over the line. And I think the reason why is because I believe Everton finished 15th. Correct me if I'm mistaken. Let me see. I believe they finished 13th. Okay, fair enough. But I think if you're Everton right now, Man United is going to get better. Tottenham is going to get better. So that's immediately two teams that you're going to finish below. The next promoted sides will not be this bad. Especially Leeds United, I think, will survive. So now that's three teams suddenly, where you're suddenly very close to the relegation. So I think Man United makes a lot of sense that it's suddenly trying to spend a lot. So I actually think Everton, I think they'll buy someone from us. I don't think they'll buy someone obvious. I just got a feeling that they'll buy someone from us. And I know nothing. I have no inside knowledge. But it's just a feeling I got. I think they'll buy one of our players. Breaking news. City Extra. Rodri is not starting. Confirmed by Pep. That does not surprise me a lot. I did not think he would be starting any game in the Club World Cup, to be honest. I think he'll be starting late September. I think or early October is when Rodri will be starting games again, in my opinion, because you need to give him time to come back into things, and pre-season tournament, perfect for that. So you're giving him time to get back into the rhythm of games, but when he gets back to the Premier League, it's different. So you need to give him time to get used to the Premier League again, which takes about a month or two. And once you've done all of that, then I think you can starting Rodri slowly again. But you need to do that before winter, because after an ACL injury, a lot of players get muscle injuries. Now, warmth is good for your muscles. Another way to look at that, cold is bad for your muscles. It causes your muscles to cramp up a bit. So you want Rodri starting again and getting used to starting before the summer ends. Before the summer ends, you want to get Rodri used to starting again. Maybe just once a week, but at least once a week. That is my take on it. But I don't think he should be starting in the Club World Cup at any point. Sasha Bowie of Bayern München got Belgium roots. I know. Big up, Alf. Big up to Michael. Smash the likes, people. Yes, do be smashing the likes, please. And to subscribe while you're at it. Yo, Michael. Yes, big up to Michael. Big up to him. He has a channel of his own, mostly in Dutch. If you like Eredivisie, though, you should check it out. And then on to the last bit of news. People are going to call me coping. People are going to say I'm coping, but I'm not. Because, listen. People say there's no chance we get Livramento. Why are we still in for Livramento then? Why have we not pulled out? If there's no chance, why are we still trying? We are not doing what Tiki did here, where Tiki will flirt with a deal for whatever amount of time. This is Hugo Viane. Hugo Viane, he goes in for a deal, Florian words, and fuck this deal, I'm out, goes and gets Cherky immediately. This is Hugo Viane. So if there is no chance of us getting Tino Livramento, we would have pulled out already. Viane does not stick in a deal that isn't happening. He just sees a deal, thinks it isn't happening, fuck this shit, let's go to someone else. But again, we're still in for Livramento. And Livramento, I love this interview. I mean, let's just read it quickly. Let's just read it. Livramento, on if he will still be a Newcastle player by August. I'm in constant contact with Eddie Howe, the manager of Newcastle, for those who don't know. Why would you be in constant contact with your manager if you're not leaving? Why would you not be in constant contact? Or why would you be in constant contact? I mean, he specifically says he's in contact with Eddie Howe to the question if he'll still be a Newcastle player in August. That is a very weird thing to say. Because when you want to leave a club, or when you're about to leave a club, you'll be talking to your manager. In this case, Eddie Howe. So it makes complete sense. He's not closing any doors. He's giving a very cryptic interview here. Cryptic is the word, not cryptic. So I'm inventing words now. He's just said to keep... Eddie Howe has just said, I was confused reading that. Eddie Howe just said to keep focusing on what you're doing, and you're doing so well. So in other words, please stop thinking about it, Livramento. We don't want you to leave. So even Eddie Howe is thinking in the back of his head, this guy might leave. Having that relationship with someone that is such a big figure in what I've done so far is amazing for me. Okay, that means nothing. I'm very much focused on what I'm doing here and now. I don't know anything about that Man City transfer. So in other words, it's not a no, it's not a yes. Yes. Being away with the England under-21s is my main priority. I like to stay in the moment and just focus on what I can do to help the team. So in other words, he's not going to say yes, because if he says yes, the Newcastle fans don't like it. But if he says no, now he's closing the door to Man City. So he's trying to keep both doors open. That's what he's doing. It's politician talk, basically. Livramento is Pep Guardiola's #1 choice. I think I'm repeating myself every stream at this point. Livramento is the #1 choice for Pep Guardiola. Big up, by the way, to Kurt Thompson. Thank God Gundogan is gone. There you go. How do you not have over 1K subscribers yet? I don't know. I'm just doing my thing, and we'll get there. We'll get there eventually, guys. We'll get there. We 100% do need a right back, and Livramento is the right back Pep wants. £90 million. Again, I'm repeating myself, but £90 million if we win the Club World Cup. We pay Livramento with the Club World Cup money. Right there. You win the Club World Cup, Livramento is free. Free. So why not? Why not? Yeah, he's homegrown, and Newcastle needs homegrown players because they'll have troubles in Champions League. But you give Newcastle £90 million, they can figure out their homegrown problems. Because I believe they've got enough club-trained players. What they need is association-trained players. Sell Livramento, they can go buy 2 or 3 association-trained players. So for Newcastle, it makes sense. Man City, it makes sense. And Pep Guardiola wants him. He's a quality right back, I believe. I don't understand the disrespect Livramento faces. I don't like to do the who else, but who else? Livramento is such a quality player. Livramento, you bring him right now to Man City, he'll ball out. He will ball out. He will defend very well. He's very good in high lines, and he's not going to give away balls at the near post. We've given away balls at the near post all season. He's not going to do that. He's going to be more alert. He's young. He's very easy to train. He's everything we need. He's everything we need. I would buy this guy even if he wasn't homegrown. I rate him. I don't care about the homegrown. But the fact that he is, that's a bonus on top. And I still don't understand why people don't want this guy. Like, I really don't get it. It's just so weird to me. Maybe people don't watch Newcastle a lot. I don't know. I really don't know. He's not a big name, sure, but he's not a nobody. Like, it confuses me so much. With Gibbs White, I understand a bit, but with Livramento, I absolutely don't. Because, of course, Gibbs White will be coming to fill the K10 role, potentially. Probably not. Probably just be a squad player. But people think that Gibbs White comes in to be a 10. And that's why they don't want him. Because they don't want Gibbs White in the 10. To which I would agree. But Tino Livramento, I don't get it. We all know where he's going to play. He's going to play right back. And he's going to play it damn well. He's very good technically. He's Premier League proven. And still people don't want him. It's so weird to me. But I would pay the full winnings of the Club World Cup for this guy. The full 90 million, I would pay on this guy. The full 90 million pounds, I would pay it to get Livramento. That's how highly I rate him. So, I guess with the transfer news now gone through, let's make a bit of a selection so far of what we've got. So, Ederson, we know he's coming. So then if we get Livramento, tell me that this is a bad lineup. Tell me which lineup is better. We'll make 2 lineups. Tell me which one is better. Husanov, not Husanov, Diaz. Husanov can dream. Vardiol, there you go, Aitnouri. This is very annoying. It's very annoying that you have to put this like dash in between to get Aitnouri. So Aitnouri is not going to be a classical left back. He's just gonna keep pushing up. If we win the Club World Cup, we get Livramento. If we win the Club World Cup, we will get Livramento. Pep Guardiola wants him. It's honestly that simple sometimes. Pep wants him, and he's not shutting. He's not saying no. He's being asked about it. He's not saying no. If you don't have any interest, you say no. He's not saying no. So I want to put Reinders on the left actually. There you go. Reinders on the left. There you go. By the way, Rodri. Please be good again. Please don't pick up an injury right at the start of the season. Front three doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, we know what players it will be. Where they'll play exactly, I mean, they'll play. That's all that matters. There you go. And then Haaland. I mean, no discussion there about Haaland. Tell me right now, which is better? This with Nuri going up high? In fact, you probably thought him a bit of a forward, don't you? And maybe Marmoush even pushing up as well. You thought him a bit of a very attacking formation. And you have 3 players in behind to form your rest defense. Which is better? This or this exact same system or something similar, but with, I don't know, let's see, Nunez. Which system gives you more confidence? This with Nunez or this with Livramento? Because for all the things Nunez does well, defending is not one of them. I mean, think back about Club Brugge, how Ferdinand Jutla absolutely skinned. I mean, Ferdinand Jutla left Matheus Nunez in the dust. He skinned him. He absolutely skinned him. So we desperately need a proper right back, man. And especially when we have a left back who's going to push up very highly. And Guardiol is also a player who can push up. So we need a rest defense, like that especially. We need players to stay back when we go up the pitch. Because if Guardiol goes pushing up as well, I mean, this is already a very narrow rest defense. Preferably, you have 5 players sticking back. You have 2 DMs and 3 center backs, I guess, or back 3. Preferably, this is what you have as your rest defense. But that's not what we do. We push up a lot of players. So when you push up all those players, your rest defense gets even narrower. Now you replace Livramento with a more attacking fullback, such as Matheus Nunez if he plays as fullback, or any attacking-minded fullback, really, like Frimpong. Now you lose another player in your rest defense. Let's say this is Frimpong. I mean, I know Frimpong is not an option anymore, but take that profile, right? And now you've got this left. And I mean, this on the counter, 1 ball down the wings and you're dead. That is what we've been struggling with all last season. So we desperately need a fullback who's a fullback, not a centre back, played fullback. A fullback who is a fullback who can defend very well and who is defensively focused and is technically gifted. And that's all the reasons why he's Pep's favorite. I mean, if you're Pep's favorite, Pep is going to want him. So my stance on Livramento does not change. If we don't win the Club World Cup, there is no chance we get him. There is no chance we get Livramento unless we win the Club World Cup. But if we win the Club World Cup, I will bet my fucking left testicle on this. If we win the Club World Cup, Livramento is coming to Man City. Especially since Newcastle needs money so that they can buy new homegrown players. And Livramento, that's 1 homegrown player out, but you can buy 3 more. They need that. They need that for Champions League reasons. So, that's everything talked about there. Let's see, is there any news that I've missed before we end? Is there any news I've missed? 800,000 followers. Congratulations. I'm very close, guys. I'm very close. Look at this. Not this. Look at this, guys. How close I am. 965. I'm sure one of you hasn't subscribed yet. Subscribe. I'm so close to that 800,000. It's a bit easier to gain followers on Twitter, to be fair. Doesn't look like anything new. Yeah, I've seen all of this already. Oh, yeah. I these things from Savio as well. Let's go through this quickly. Savio. I certainly learned a lot and felt I evolved. I don't think he did. I don't feel like Savio got better. I think he got worse as the season went on. he had that good moment in February, I believe, but or like that good spirit in February. But for the rest, I feel like he got worse than what he was at Girona. That's thanks to Pep, my teammates, the coaches as well. But I'm looking to improve, hopefully, even more, get more goals. Mainly this, mate, mainly this. Focus on the goals. 10 assists, bro. Man got 10 assists last season. If you can get 10 assists next season again, but with 5 goals instead of 1, Premier League alone, of course, that's an improvement. Now we can talk about something. If you get like 12 assists, but still only 1 or 2 goals, bro, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? So focus on the goals. The assists are fine. Focus on the goals. And consistency, maybe. I'm so happy at Man City. I mean, that's what every player says. Every player says that about Man City. They are happy to be here. And the players who leave, they regret leaving. They still think about Man City. They still see our shadow in their room. You know what I'm talking about. These players, they love Man City. We are a great club in making players happy. And when you are great at making players happy, you can attract some players who want to win trophies and want to win lead a comfortable life and all of that. You are able to get the big players in. That's why players love to go to Real Madrid. They'll win trophies. They live in a beautiful city. I've been to Madrid once when I was like 6 years old, but I promise you, from memory, it is beautiful. But once going in like a lifetime is enough, I think. They live in a beautiful city. That they get a great club that looks after them. That's why players go to Madrid. Players don't go to Madrid because it's Madrid. That's not why players make their choice. What makes Madrid Madrid? Is it history? No. Barcelona has history. AC Milan has history. Man United has history. Arsenal even has history. Bayern München has history. None of those clubs, other than Real Madrid, have more pulling power than Man City. So what makes Madrid Madrid? It's not history. It is not. It is not even that they're champions of Europe every fucking 5 years. Because currently, treble winners, PSG, they still have less pulling power than Man City. They still have less pulling power, I think, in general. So it's not what you're winning currently. Not completely, at least. It's not your history. Not completely. What makes Madrid Madrid is the ability to captivate a player, their interest. Because these are professionals. We look at it from a fan's perspective. But when you are a professional and you are offered a contract, what are you asking? How much am I getting paid? Man City? A lot. Real Madrid? A lot. Okay, where am I going to live? A beautiful city? Manchester is a beautiful area in that area in Stockport where Manchester City has completely rebuilt or helped rebuild, financed the rebuild, should I say. Beautiful area to live. So, beautiful city. You can check those two off. Am I going to play a lot? Livramento will, so you can check that off. Am I going to win trophies? You will, so you can check that off. It's a checklist. These professional players don't look at football the same way we do. They look at Man City and they think, is Man City going to be better for me than Newcastle? And if Man City is better for me than Newcastle, then I would prefer to go to Man City. Terrible Manc accent. It's not even a Manc accent. What are you? What? Are you retarded? So we sometimes get people in who don't understand international fans, which is funny because he's a Portuguese guy. I would suggest growing up brain. It's not a Manchester accent. It's a Flemish accent. Actually, you should recognize the accent. It's the same one that De Bruyne has. If you're a Man City fan, I've got the same accent as the Bruyne, so you should try recognizing it. Weird stuff. Anyhow, moving on. What was I saying? Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I was talking something about big clubs. Anyhow, yeah, Man City has pulling power. That's what I was getting to. And Man City is able to keep players engaged, to make players happy. When you're the professional player, you don't think about, oh, I'm a fan of this club. You think, is this club going to be an upgrade for my living standard? If the answer is yes, that's where to go. That's where to go. So, for Livramento, he's not a romantic. He's not even a Newcastle guy. I think a lot of people think that Livramento is a Newcastle guy. He's not. I mean, he plays at Newcastle, but he's not from the Newcastle area and stuff. He's just a player who happens to be at Newcastle. You can get him out of there. Alexander Isak is looking to leave as well. You can get him out of there. It's difficult because these players have a long period left on their contract. In fact, I don't know if that's true for Livramento. How long does Livramento have on his contract? I know it's our websites to check this for, but I don't know which one it is. Okay, he has until 2028, so he's got 3 years left. There's a website that you can check all these contracts, but I don't know which one it is. I don't know. What's up, Alf? Big up to Abdallah. I'm doing good. What about you? Absolutely, I agree. But, I mean, at this point, I'm repeating myself. But I'll say it one more time, because I'm about to end the stream anyhow. Let's look for who to redirect to as I'm saying this. So, I think if we win the Club World Cup, we will get Isak. Isak, oh my god. Livramento. Talking about one player from another now. It's nobody live, man. Why do you guys suck so much at streaming? I guess I can redirect to this guy.
You know what I mean?
Channel. We can redirect there. So yeah, I think we win the Club World Cup, we get Livramento. So you go get Livramento, yeah? Oh. You go get Livramento. You first want to wait to win the Club World Cup to decide are we getting Livramento or not. If you don't win the Club World Cup, but you've agreed personal terms, now you've wasted your time. However, if you do win the Club World Cup, now you can go and agree personal terms. Now you can go say, okay, we're going to use this money to buy him. Now go agree personal terms. So I'm not too worried about that, yeah? I'm not too worried about that. I'm just looking at win the Club World Cup. Then let's see how the news develops. If you don't win the Club World Cup yet, it's just going to be dead. It's going to be done. And Ola Aina is the talk. Then Matty Cash from Aston Villa. There's plenty of right backs who are homegrown out there that we can go for should we not win the Club World Cup. But personal terms, they will be agreed, I think, if we win the Club World Cup. But not before. Because we need to know, will the money to buy this guy be there? Before we go tell this guy, hey, we're going to buy you. Like, you know, we can't go to a player telling him we're interested to buy him when we don't know yet if the money is there. Because otherwise, I think it's just better to go buy an Ola Aina or something like that. Because this is a player who's going to, or that will be a player who's going to come in, do a similar role, maybe not as well, but do that role and play well. Tino only for me. Yeah, only Tino for the... Yeah, a lot of people only want Tino, but a lot of other people are like, no chance Livramento. Like, people are so split on this. And you know what? I like it. I like that our fan base disagrees. I like that our fan base has the energy to disagree. I like that LB can come in here and say we're not getting Livramento. Because I look at other fan bases and they don't say anything. They are like, oh yeah, I want this play, I want that play. They are afraid to disagree sometimes. I like that our fan base has the backbone to disagree, to challenge decisions. Because when you challenge these decisions as a fan base, it puts pressure on the club to do right, to do their due diligence to make sure they get the correct decisions. Because you look at Arsenal, there's no pressure there. And when there's no pressure here, the club is just going to buy whoever. That's what they do. I don't know about Wesley, personally. I've never watched him. I'm not going to pretend I've watched him. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. I've not seen a single game of him. But Cambiasso, I don't want to be honest. I saw him play against Club Brugge. He was terrible. He was terrible against Club Brugge. Talbi was having a feast against Cambiasso. And Talbi is woeful. So, yeah, Cambiasso, I don't actually rate that highly. But there's a lot of right backs out there. I will get a right back. I'm not worried about that. In fact, talking about right backs, yeah, people don't rate Matty Cash. How old is this guy? 27. Okay, he's 27. Let me share my screen again. 27 years old. Premier League player, homegrown. I believe he's homegrown at least. Yeah, Forest Academy. This is a homegrown player. Young, a right back, used to play. He plays for Unai Emery. He's used to playing in these types of systems. I know it's different from Pep, but it's close enough to bring him over, I think. There's so many players out there. And how much do you think we pay for Matty Cash if we want him? 30 million? The Villa have to sell. Aston Villa have to sell because of their financial situation, their PSR situation. So 30 million? 35 million? 40 million at most? Let's say 40 million pounds. That's a very good price for our right back. So don't be surprised if we go in for Matty Cash. There's so many right backs in the Premier League. People are like, oh, the right back market is dead. No, you're just not looking hard enough. People are saying, oh, the striker market is dead. No, you're not looking hard enough. Vlahovic, Gyökeres, Isak, all these great strikers right now playing football. Dani Olmo even, I consider him a striker. There's a lot of very good strikers. Kleindienst, Tim Kleindienst. The market is not dead. The market is not dead. Does it have to be Livramento? No, but he's my favorite. He's my favorite. Also, we are desperate. We are desperate for homegrown. What John Stones wants is not always the same as what the club wants. If John Stones stays, what is he on? Man City wages. Let me see. John Stones. 250k a week. So that's some ridiculous wages for someone who's going to play 2 games. How many games did he play this season? He's going to play even less next season. Well, obviously he didn't play in the Club World Cup yet. Current season. Let's see. But we do need homegrown. We really do. And I'll show you why. Yeah, he played 1,134 minutes, 20 games across all competition. 500 minutes in the Premier League. You're paying 250k for this. It's not always about what John Stones wants. Or not about what players want. Sometimes the club has to make a decision. And you can sell. You can sell. Chelsea can sell their players. Man United sold Højlund for 50 million or something. Players can be sold. I'm not worried about that. We are very desperate for homegrown players. Yep, all these players are leaving. Let me show my Twitter here quickly, because I've actually got this on my Twitter thing. 1 second. So this is our homegrown situation in the Premier League. So in the Premier League, you can't see it because this X is in front of it. For the Premier League homegrown, we've already got 22 players who are not homegrown, and only 19 of them count this season. Only 19 of them count this season because some of them are under 21. But when they get older, they will count. And that is not including Yumaba, who's already out on a loan. So you're 23. In 3 years' time, that's 23 players who are not homegrown. So for the Premier League, you can't go and buy a right back who's not homegrown, and then just exacerbates the issue even more. And if you look at Champions League, where it's actually the worst, in Champions League you have 2 lists, and you're allowed to bring 4 club-trained players, meaning players from your own academy, 4 association-trained players, meaning players from the association, so a homegrown player who's not from your academy, basically. So if you can't bring them, let's say McAtee goes, Grish goes, okay. Walker goes, yeah, that seems about right. Phillips goes, so that's 4 players who leave. So now you've got a total of 2 association-trained players. 2. You need 4. You need 4. So these players leaving, it is an issue. And now if John Stones does leave as well, that's an even bigger issue. Even Pep said something about wanting John Stones back to his full fitness. Yeah, but he said that about a lot of players. And Pep Guardiola also wanted to keep both Ortega and Ederson. A lot of people don't agree with that. Pep Guardiola... let's think about this, yeah? If we buy a not homegrown right back now, what about when John Stones leaves? Because he's only here for 1 more year. So we go buy someone who's not homegrown now. It works for a year. Now you've got to sell him because you need to get a homegrown. Might as well get a homegrown immediately. Or you need to sell someone in another position. Yeah, availability, it matters. It really, really does matter how available these players are. And John Stones is never available. Listen, he's a quality player. I think he's our best ever centre-back, bar Company. But Company, I don't think was a better centre-back. He was just a different centre-back. Bar Company, he's our best ever centre-back, I think. But he's never fit. So that's the issue with John Stones for me. And that's why he really has to go, in my opinion. We just can't pay him those wages for him to not be here. But that's my opinion. I get it. I get it why people don't want Livramento. But if you don't want Livramento, there's so many good right backs who are homegrown. Why bother going to get a not homegrown one? If we do, listen, if we do get someone who's not homegrown for right back position, we will get someone who is homegrown for midfield or for the wing, which potentially means Doku leaves, by the way, for the people who like Doku. If you like Doku, you best hope we get a right back who's English or homegrown. GA. Good afternoon. Is that what GA means? Am I stupid here? Good afternoon, right? That's what that means. Anyhow, big up to Formidables. How are you? Come on, my mouse is not clicking again. I agree, Alf. Stones was so class. Amazing. But we can't keep players who are never fit. Availability is best ability. Well, it's not even ability. You don't have ability if you're not available, right? Your ability doesn't matter if you're not available. I get the sentiment, though. Anyhow, I'll leave it there. We had a good 1 hour stream here, so thank you all for coming in. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it does help out a ton. If you want some right back ideas, what homegrown, yeah? I'll give you some homegrown right back ideas. without Livramento. Matty Cash, what is his name? Ola Eina. I'm not sure how to spell it. I think it's just O-L-A, right? Ola Eina, and the one nobody likes, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'll drop him in there too. I've been saying it for a while. We need top center back who's not injury prone. Gvardiol. Gvardiol does not get injured. Bro, we have abused Gvardiol 2 seasons in a row and he's not injured yet. And now, hopefully, we'll rotate him a bit. Hopefully. Like we've got Rusnov, Vitor Hayste, Ake on the bench, Akanji as well, Diaz. This guy, Gvardiol, he doesn't need to be abused. But there you go. That's your right back options. Homegrown, excluding Livramento. If you think we can't get Livramento. And I've only picked defensively minded right backs. You can go get Hinselwood. You want a more attacking right back? Hinselwood. He plays at Brighton. There you go. That's another idea. Hinsel. How do you spell his name? Hinselwood. There you go. That's a hell of a name to spell, by the way. There you go. You've got another one. Hinselwood. Anyhow, this time for real, I'll leave it there. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll redirect you guys to a channel I've literally never watched. Views on sport. So big up to them. Go give them a lot of love. Alfred and chat, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.